Always great to get a chance to catch up with the tournament director, and the president of the Heritage Classic Foundation, Steve Wilmot. Steve, big announcement this past week. We're finally getting a chance to sit down and talk a little about it. The RBC Heritage is and will be not just for next year, not just for a couple of years, longer than that.
Yeah, well, thank you, and thanks for having me back, and for the continuing
Thanks
support.
for being able to come back.
Yeah, but exactly. And that's just it. Yes, we did just recently announce a multi-year agreement. I think it's been talked about for the last 10 years, and the reason I say that is the last 4 years we've had one-year agreements due to a lot of certain things. Certainly, COVID came into play there a little bit. Then you get into the live a little bit and the PIF a little bit, and the direction of the tour, designated events, signature events, and all too. But it's great for this community. It's great for us as the Heritage Classic Foundation, the Sea Pines Resort, Sea Pines, Hilton Head Island, and the state of South Carolina. It's a win-win-win for all of us, and now we can plan accordingly from the standpoint of knowing that it is multi-year.
What are the kind of things that you can now do that maybe you couldn't, you could kind of think about but couldn't do over the past couple of years?
Well, certainly working with our sponsors and partners too, to be able to plan in advance, whether it is a vendor from an operation expense side or it is from a revenue side when you're trying to plan out with sponsors and all too. But for us from an operation side too, signage and all, because not that there was uncertainties, but you're not going to go out there and spend additional dollars possibly on a sign plan with a new RBC Heritage logo when it might not be. Yeah. And not that we got to that point, but you have to plan ahead knowing that there is tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars involved in some of these things. So.
Yeah. You got a chance to meet the new, I don't think he's commissioner, is he? CEO of the PGA Tour, a guy from the NFL who brings kind of an outsider's view of the tour, which probably needed to be done.
Well, I was up at the Tour Championship last week, and they had tournament director meeting, and that Brian Rollup, I had a chance to meet for the first time. He spoke to the group, and I did have a couple minutes with him. And the interesting thing that he did share with the group that is when he decided to pursue this job, and he told everybody, was the day after he watched a gentleman by the name of Justin Thomas walking down, looking at the Lighthouse, looking at Harbor Town, looking at the Calabogie Sound, looking at the excitement, and he went and dug into it, and he's a TV guy, and he went in and saw the NBA ratings, and he was looking at baseball ratings, and that Monday is when he ended up saying, I would want to pursue the job. So we use that as an example, but great guy. And actually the interesting thing is too, is exactly what you were saying, is from sponsors that were certainly in Atlanta last week, of marketing partners and players too, to get the number 2 guy in the biggest sports marketing or sporting organization in the world, for him to come in with a different set of eyes is refreshing.
He mentioned to the public his desire to have the players come up with some new ideas as well, and appointed Tiger Woods the head of the committee, and Justin's probably on it too because he does that sort of thing. What are you expecting to hear from that group? What's going to change out there for folks watching golf?
Well, I think this Brian Rollup is going to put his thumbprint on the future. He really had nothing to do with the 26. I shouldn't say nothing to do, but the 26 schedule is what it is, and there's things. And yes, there's a new edition of the 9th signature event, and there is that run that we were talking about earlier, about 5 of 6 weeks of signature events and two majors. But it's what's going to happen really in 27 is going to be something different. I mean, he's talking about parity, he's talking about simplicity, he's talking about scarcity, and he's trying to figure out, and they're tasking the players of, how can maybe less be more, and how could more be less? I mean, if that makes sense, but it's good to be us. It's a compliment again to the efforts of the Heritage Classic Foundation, this community. We are unique on the PGA Tour, and the PGA Tour is envious of our relationship, and other tournaments are too, because 90% of the time, if you've heard me say it before, is yes is the answer, what's the question, and that comes from the community of how can we better and do better to be better, to get better with the tournament.
Yeah,
so.
fans first is what they're talking about, and obviously you are too. So much more to talk about. We got months to do that. Are tickets on sale already yet for 26? No, not quite yet.
Not yet. October we'll
Save
be
up your
kicking off. Yeah, we'll be kicking off in October.
Okay.
And the team's hard at work, and obviously the golf course too is another story for another time. But that's that restoration and refresh is happening right now, and it's exciting. It's all good.
Going to be a whole lot of fun coming up. Good to see you. Good to see you with a smile on your face too, Steve Wilmot, the executive director, executive director of the Heritage Classic Foundation, the guy who runs the tournament at the RBC Heritage. Thanks so much for joining us.
No, thank you.
We'll be back with much more right after this.